Go for it.
Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, and I'm the host of this podcast that's mine, going to be called History is Dank. History is Dank with Strider Wilson. Dankness from the ground.
Friggin' what up, dude? Welcome back to another ep of History is Dank. Dude, I'm your host, Strider Wilson. Dude, we got Aaron going beast mode on the sticks, dude.
What up?
What up, dude? Dude, I'm just over here thinking to myself, you know, over here in LA at Griffith Park, they do horseback tours. You know, sort of like Dude Ranch style, you know?
Yeah.
A mounted tour up to the Hollywood sign. Kind of like, you know, what they were doing at the Spawn movie ranch, taking tourists out. You know, what that guy, Tex, played by, I think that's Austin Butler, isn't it?
Yep. Sure is.
Dude, that guy's a B. I love me some Austin Butler. I love me some T. Chalamet, dude. Some of my boys. And anyway, I was thinking to myself, you know, I'm big on the cowboy motif, where I'm like, look, if you're going on a first date with a girl, you got to wear the right outfit. You dress as a cowboy. It's just what you should do, okay? And then on the third date, when it's time to, you know, this is traditionally the time. Maybe it happens the first date. If you're a little, you know, if you live life in the fast lane, maybe it happens on the 30th date. I don't know. But in film and television, they say 3 dates. Maybe is the first kiss, or maybe it's the first time you guys knock boots since you're a cowboy. I think what you got to do to wow your date, and this is what I've been doing, Aaron, with my wife. My new move is I'll wear a thong, dude. Think about that, dude. Just feeling sexy, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a Carhartt thong, you know. It's pretty badass. Like, it's something a modern cowboy would wear. Made me think of it. And, you know, just feel sexy, dude. Whale tail it a little bit. My wife sees that. She gets turned on. Then she bones me, dude. So, pretty chill. Just going cowboy style. I was just, that completes the outfit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not expecting you to ride a horse to your first date for ice cream, although that'd be sick. Horseback riding would be pretty fun. Not exactly conversational. It's an activity. Probably better, you know, 5th date once you're a month in or something. Be like, let's keep it fresh and entertaining. Let's go horseback riding. We exactly need to talk. But wear the thong. I'm making a big push in 2025. Dude's got to be rocking sexier undies. That's all I'm saying, dude. Calvin Klein up my butt. More like it. Also, you know, we would generally think of cowboys. I've done a cowboy poetry episode. Check it out. They're deep thinkers. They're out there on the range. Oftentimes a lot of solo time spent in thought, heating up a can of beans. You know, cooking a flank steak, black Angus style, right there in your cast iron skillet out there on the open range. Beautiful, beautiful. And, you know, you're pondering life philosophy. Hey, what keeps you going? What gets you out of bed? You know, why? Is it your family at home? Is it glory? Is it your legacy? Is it just to make money? Are you a big cattle hand? You know, Yellowstone style? You're asking these questions, and it's reflected in wonderful cowboy poetry, with a tinge of isolation and modern loneliness to it. And I wonder if there's old school cowboys who look at, you know, modern cowboys. Probably they do. That's generally how it goes. But whenever there was the first cowboy, maybe, you know, sounds like kind of post-Civil War, in the Civil War era, Gold Rush, probably from Gold Rush era, let's say early 1800s. Before that, what'd you call a dude on a horse if it wasn't a cowboy? Dude, he was a horseman. I wonder if cowboy is a derogatory. Oh, you're just a cowboy. Well, okay, hey, take it easy, cowboy. In that term's probably how it came about. The Dallas Cowboys, no wonder they suck this year. They should be the Dallas Horsemen. That's a badass term, dude. That's a title. Okay? You got to claim that title, dude. Claim it. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about a gentleman who claimed a title. He won it, and he was a master horseman. This was kind of during the Warring States period. His state in China, the Qin, Qin, state conquered China. And he left a lasting legacy, something that could rival even the pharaohs. And we found part of it, and there's also a mysterious element that we haven't heard about yet that I'll tell you about at the end. But what we do know, and you've heard of them, terracotta soldiers in modern Xi'an, China, about 30-minute drive outside Xi'an, China. It's not in the downtown area. It's a city of 9 million people. That'd be tough. Although sometimes parking lots, they do discover tombs and stuff when they're digging shit up. Terracotta is clay. It's just like a special clay, stone type cement mix that they would use. And why they used this mixture, I would say element, but it's more than an element. It's a combination of elements. This mixture is an indicator of the lasting legacy of the self-proclaimed, and in actuality kind of true, although we'll see how long his dynasty, quote unquote, lasted, was Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, 221 BC, motherfucker, way back in the day. I mean, this discovery doesn't get enough love. It's underrated. It's up there with King Tut. It's up there with frickin' Dead Sea Scrolls. I mean, we gotta get dudes like Tom Hanks. We gotta get Nick Cage, Tom Hanks, Brendan Fraser. Get these bros in a movie about the terracotta soldiers. That's all I'm saying. Frickin' Robert Ludlum, Benjamin, what's his name in Nicolas Cage's character? It's like a mixture of two famous founding fathers. It's like it's not Benjamin Martin. It's Mel Gibson in The Patriot. It's like Franklin Monroe or something like that. Anyway, we gotta get a movie about this, dude, because there's some mysterious elements. First, let's get into the facts, dude. Let's talk about this site, dude. All right, bro.
He's Benjamin Franklin Gates.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, they just threw Gates on there. His name's Benjamin Franklin. Hilarious, dude. Yeah. I love those movies, by the way. If you're on a fucking airplane, dude, crush that stuff, dude. So, just to let you know, March 1974 is when this was discovered. This article I read says peasants were digging, although it's probably accurate in China. But like farmers or whatever were digging and farming, and they turned over this piece of clay. They're like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? And they found like an eyeball on it. They're like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? This is art, dude. This isn't just a stone. This is some dude's eyeball. Then, contacted the authorities. One of the biggest discoveries of modern times. Honestly, considered one, perhaps the eighth wonder of the modern world. And we've done Dank-offs, dude. Sick. Now there's 3 in this burial site. You've got over 2,000 soldiers. That's only in one vault, and they're estimating there's even more. And they can do lidar imaging now. In Vault 1, it's the largest and the most impressive vault. If you were going to go, maybe I'm saving you a trip. Although, a flight to China, you could crush the entire National Treasure series. You'd have a great time. Plus, on international flights, it's free freaking brewskis, dude. There's over 6,000, terracotta figures and soldiers of horses. Okay? But if you go there, only 2,000 are on display. That's the biggest vault. It's about the size of a fucking airplane hangar, dude. Think about that, dude. I'm obsessed with aviation today, dude. I'm going to compare everything to airplanes today. You've got... It's beautiful because it's an exact... And it's interesting. It's like kind of the same thinking as the Egyptian religion. In Buddhism and Confucianism was spread across a lot of China in this Warring States period. That's kind of how they would govern, was based on Confucianism, not the Qin state. And it actually helped them. They used something called legalism. They developed a strict set of rules that we'll get into a little bit more. But first, Let's keep it on these motherfucking soldiers, dude. It's a beautiful glimpse of what an army in 221 BC would have looked like around that time. Archers, chariots, mixed forces, cavalry. He even brings, and he doesn't just bring an army. It's called the Terracotta Army, Terracotta Soldiers. It's not that. He also brings like officials. He like brings his entire government that he started into the afterlife with him, so he can rule. Because he's like, and his lasting legacy, Qin Shi Huang. Other conquering dynasties. I keep getting away from just the soldiers, but look, I'm excited to talk about this. Even though his dynasty didn't last long, the foundation and the principles upon which he set to govern a very large network of people and land lasted. Maybe lasted all the way up until the times of Mao Zedong. It has the largest, most intricate bronze artifacts. The swords and shit are actual real metal, and they were still sharp. Maybe that's exaggeration, but they were supposedly still sharp when discovered, because they were preserved down there for so long, so well. They say a force of about 750,000 definite peasants back in 221 BC worked on this. Imagine that. And the intricacy, no two soldiers is exactly identical. Remember earlier I mentioned they used terracotta to make these soldiers and officials. And honestly, dude, fucking chicks, bro.
Oh, yeah.
He brought chicks, dude. You don't think the emperor is going to bring some chicks, dude? Gonna freaking pop a bone, dude, in the afterlife, bro. He's got his officials with him, dude. He's got his chicks with him, dude. He's got everything, dude. What up?
The terracotta harem.
He's big time terracotta harem, dude. Big time. Very intricate. The soldiers, none of the faces were alike. They used like the same mold or whatever to replicate things. It wasn't like they had different models for every single one. Obviously we can't go back and know exactly what they did, but like the guy had an army. He probably was just like, go fucking do that. His officials might have stood for and been like sketched, and then the artist used that for, inspiration. Who knows? I mean, that's just how I would guess it was done. But what's impressive is that you would think like it's the exact same, but it's not. One, because they don't have the technology to do exact replication like we do today. They came very close. And then two, so it's like, was it on purpose or not quite on purpose? But the artist would add little, like one guy would have a mole, another guy that might have had a tooth, or like the mustache, different hairstyles of the mustache, all period accurate. Pretty freaking sick, dude.
At some point they get down to like, yeah, I mean, this guy's got like a poppy seed in his teeth. Like,
yeah, exactly, dude. This guy's feeling a little bloated. One guy's kneeling, like holding his stomach a little bit. Oh shit. They do have different positions. Like archers are kneeling. Most of the dudes are just standing. Like if you pull up a picture, I don't know, Aaron, if you want to find one, like you can find a picture. Like the main picture is just like they're in the pit still, just posting up there, dude. I mean, dude, kind of a beautiful way to go. Like if I was an emperor, I love posting up, dude. Why not post up with my boys, dude? Bring back, and my terracotta army would be like my Xbox. Freaking, dude, my dank ass wife, Sunny, just posting up on my lap, dude. Maybe like me and my wife cooking a nice little one pot recipe, dude. Chickpea curry, dude. Some dank, dude. Some digestible, some fun, dude. Vegetarian, dude. Pretty nice, legit. My wife likes to eat like that, dude. And then, if we could bump tunes, maybe terracotta, freaking Closer by 9 Inch Nails playing. Pretty sick. Have that just playing on repeat for eternity in my burial chamber, my mausoleum. Be freaking pretty sick, dude. Definitely a drill factory. I'd have my own drill factory in a separate vault. It'd be a large airplane-sized hangar vault filled with Boris Vallejos. Maybe terracotta Boris Vallejos would be pretty sick. So I just fired up on that, dude. Pretty freaking dank, dude. Oh, did you find one that's dank, Aaron?
yeah. where you can see the differences.
Let's see.
Boom, boom, boom.
If you're listening, dude, we're just looking at different dudes' faces right now. I'll do a good job painting you a word picture as we do this, dude. It'd be freaking legit, dude. Yeah, dude. Even different hues. One dude's got no head. How's that guy alive, dude? Of course, this is, due to the times. Their weaponry's been taken away, but they did have, and, they do, they ship this display around the world. And, we'll go to like the Reagan Library, or we'll go to like a, whatever museums. They'll bring
like King
some
Tut,
of these dudes. Like
just,
King Tut,
yeah,
exactly.
It's just doing a tour.
Mm-hmm. They'll tour it. Some of those are toured. Some of them, Also, some of the damage, they're saying once the Qin dynasty fell, like so much, like in Egypt as well, there's tomb raiders. People, like the swords that were in there were tipped in gold and metal, and it's like, let's just go get that. Like, it'd be good if you did a period piece movie, or like a revolution movie, even a futuristic battle scene in China, like we're fighting aliens or something, and then one chapter, it's like, dude, we need to they kind of do that in the movie The Battleship. They get like the old World War II veterans to fight aliens, and they use like the old USS, like Indianapolis or whatever, and the old guys know how to, it's kind of hokey, but I'm like, I kind of love it. It'd be sick if in the movie they're like, look, we don't have any weapons to fight the aliens, like no technology works. We have to get up close to them, but we don't have any like swords or stuff. And they're like, I know where they are. And they go to the fucking Terracotta army, and everyone mans up. Yeah, that's the main vault.
Dude, so many.
Imagine that, dude. Horses, dude, chariots, just bringing his bros. Dude, I had a nightmare. My nightmare is all my bros hanging out without me. That was it. They weren't even doing anything. They were all just chilling on the couch, and I was like watching them, unable to hang out. Isn't that the worst? FOMO, dude.
Yeah.
Just doing stuff I love. Freaking petting my dog. Just posting up. Freak dancing with my wife. I was like, this looks like fun. Let me get in on that. So, the guy takes not only an army, but a whole political system down there. A political system he's famous for. He goes out. His dad dies. This guy, the first emperor of China. His capital's in Xinjiang, the large metropolis at the time. Apparently, he erected 270 palaces. Only one foundation known to survive. Some of them are. There's some hearsay in the history with a lot of this stuff. He assumes the throne at 13 after his dad dies. And of course, you're going, how's this 13-year-old going to, end up taking over the world as he knew it back then? China was the world, right? There's got to be an evil genius. And there is. Okay? He's got an evil genius at his side. And his name is fucking Li. Damn, dude. Li Si. Lisi. Li Si. Which, in China, that's why the number 4 is bad, depending on which inflections on it, does mean death. So this guy resulted in the death and had played a hand in the death of many, which we will get into. But first, some of the glory. Fucking dude, these guys conquer China, unite it, end the Warring States period. They were master horsemen. They used an army that we can see, which is awesome, a life-size army that we can see, so badass. He conquered his army that they believed, this was like supposed to be like maybe an elite unit, because there's like some 8,000. They say his army probably had 500,000 plus men, 500,000.
I believe I'd be described as having an elite unit.
Let's go, dude. Dude, you can't erect a structure without an elite unit, dude. Yeah. Freaking let's go, dude. This guy's civil administration was badass, dude. Endured for centuries after the demise of his own freaking dynasty, dude, if we can call it that. Single ruling, really. He developed standardization, dude. Weights, measures, a uniform writing skip. There's tons of Chinese dialects, right? The main ones, Cantonese and Mandarin. He developed one uniform, characters. They're called Chinese characters for writing, and a system for it so that everything could be kept track of and logged. Him and Li Si did this, dude. Like I mentioned, they were celebrated horsemen. They used legalism. It rested on administration and punitive laws rather than Confucianism, where it's like fucking deep thinking and legit thoughts and can, sway opinions and make you think of right things. But in legalism, it's like, nah, dude, write like this or we're going to tax you. Also, every time he would conquer a new state or area, he would send the ruling class people back to his capital and give them like somewhat good positions there, and then put his own dudes in charge of that province as like governors. That was his system, dude. Alexander the Great kind of did stuff like that too. So, and unbeknownst to one another. So we have these conquering formulas that work sort of not too far apart, a couple hundred centuries, but definitely all BC at different times. And there's no way these guys would have ever known each other, right? Even though freaking Qin Shi Huang did send out messengers, dude, but I'll get into exactly who those were and for what. Odd. His standardization is badass. He developed standard weaponry. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like before this, it was like you had standing armies and stuff, but it was like almost kind of like Minutemen stuff, I guess, where like you'd have a dude making arrows, but he would just kind of make it. It wasn't precise or exact. In Qin China, an arrow was this length. So if a crossbow broke, all of them were the same. There was parts that could be replaced easily, and it just helped them. It was just like their army just ran more efficiently. It wasn't like he was a super master tactician. I'm sure he was great, but he had the resources, he had the power to do so, and the skill came with them on horseback. And it's kind of funny. They built this, the Great Wall of China, which also you don't get the Great Wall of China without the terracotta soldiers, kind of, because it's the emperor. I always keep having to look up his name. Sorry, I pause when I say that. Qin Shi Huang. He built outposts and roads. He develops a road system going both ways. Fucking like paves it or grates it. He doesn't obviously to put asphalt on there, with 3 lanes going each direction, and then a middle lane only for the royals, dude. That went faster, dude.
Oh wow.
Legit, dude. So right in the middle was for the fucking royals, dude. So you couldn't get ganked on the flanks as easy, and just could, and everyone else just stay out of that lane, dude. When no one was around, though, they were using it, bro. I'd cut into there, dude. Royal carpool lane. So pretty badass. But circling back to the Berlin Wall, he would put outposts and fortresses along his conquered area, and a lot of those outposts eventually from later emperors got connected by the Berlin Wall, the Great Wall of China. So you don't get that without the very first emperor of China, without Qin Huang's road system. So pretty freaking gnarly. Let's see. It's just so vast, dude. Yeah. China's just so vast, so hard. It's the thing. Once you conquer people, you can't be too brutal. They're gonna, rebel against you. But you have to rule, with law. Maybe it's gotta be a little draconian, but he's got a code. He goes, look, this is our standard. He meets it, and he implements a lot of stuff that some of it betters people's lives. He brings in infrastructure, irrigation canals, storage granaries all throughout these areas. So he sort of builds like infrastructure for the whole country. It's pretty gnarly. He's not just like doing the stuff where he just takes, you pay a tax, live your life, I don't care, governor, like kind of how Rome did, we'll have a little governor here. And yes, we will bring some Roman things. Obviously, influence is going to happen. It's going to disseminate. But, you know, they wouldn't put large-scale construction projects there. It's not, you know, China. This guy did that. It's pretty badass, and it's lasting. The guy builds things to last, just like his terracotta soldiers. Now back to Li Si. This guy, he's got the policies. He's in the emperor's ear. He's the Rasputin pulling the strings, right? He divides the empire into 36 regions. He's the one who's like kind of the brains of the operation, each governed by a centrally appointed official under the guidance of the emperor's standardized coinage. This is his weights and measures. This much weight is worth this much. It's got his stamp on there, right? You know, he's starting, money system. It's not all trading and bartering. Of course, that still exists. He begins, they don't know it at the time, but the construction of the Great Wall to keep barbarians from the north out. It's funny, which are, of course, like the Mongolian hordes, but it's a horse people that conquers China and creates China, but they're just like, no, we don't want these other horse peoples. So just sort of ironic. In an effort to prevent, this is where Li Si, you're like bad guy, right? So of course you have this infrastructure, you're bettering people's lives, you're conquering them, you're taking their royal families, sending to the capital. Don't worry, they're going to be fine. Basically, they're in, prisons, but nice prisons. There's still a high court type stuff, but they're being watched. Let's just say, comfortably. You don't want any dissent throughout your empire. You want people to love the emperor, so you have to have thought control too. So Li Si goes, you know what, dude? No more teaching history, dude. I don't like this guy. I love history. He goes, history's out, and in fact orders the burning of books. Classic sign of a bad guy. Yeah. When you start destroying books, you're like, yeah, this guy's bad. I don't want challenging opinions. Get them out. So he would try, Confucian scholars, of course, immediately they're up in arms about this. This is in 213 BC. He's been ruling now since 221. In 210, he becomes in a plot with the eunuch of Zhao Gao. This is after, in 210 BC, the emperor dies. Okay? And then he goes to, funny enough, he doesn't get buried where his terracotta army is. He's buried next door in a burial mound like kings were. And that's where the mysterious element will come in. But first, Li Si's got some work to do here. What's it called? Post-mortem. On behalf of the deceased emperor. He wants this eunuch, Zhao Gao, to void proper succession. And there's two, he's like plotting against this guy, one of the eunuchs who's loyal to like basically the dynasty. He's like, look, this is who is next in line, is the oldest son. But Li is not exactly in the ear of the guy. He can't be a puppet master to him. So he's like, no, I don't want that son. I want someone else, this somewhat younger one. There's a plot to kill him. This goes wrong. The son actually does get murdered, but then Li Si fucking dies. The younger son gets put on the throne 4 years later. There is upheaval, and it goes into, I think, I'm not sure exactly which dynasty comes next. Maybe the Ming. In any case, it sort of goes back to a warring states period. But before the emperor dies, there's some interesting stuff that happens. Remember I mentioned these, because the purpose of his terracotta army is he's extending his life in the afterlife, right? And that's why he's buried in a mausoleum, so his body's preserved. There's no mummification like in Egypt, but close, the same principal ideas. He ain't giving up on life just because he's extending his life in death. He still says, nah, bro, I want to live as long as I can. I'm the fucking emperor. I got the power. And he, is taking in as much information from everyone, some of it good, some of it bad. And if you're the king, what do you have to lose? Or the emperor, you just take flyers on shit, see if it works out. You know what I mean? And He'd have alchemists come in. Alchemists are these like scientist guys who turn any material, whatever, into gold, and it's like amazing. Um, these alchemists, these magic dudes, they're like, bro, there's this island of immortals in the East China Sea, dude. He's like, you need to go there, dude. You need to send emissaries, bro, to this. But there can't just be any emissaries, dude. It must be young boys. So this is sort of a weird Epstein Island type stuff going on here. The emperor's like, okay, dude, bring me young boys, dude. And then luckily he's like, send them away to this island to go gather me the proper herbs that are going to be needed, because the reason they want young boys is they can brave the journey and they're uncorrupted. They're uncorrupted by life or whatever, how you ever interpret that. He dispatched several thousand youngsters, dude, to search for the islands. They never come back. Yikes, dude.
Yeah.
Li Si probably owned that island, dude. A few years later, the emperor sends the alchemist. He goes, fuck you guys. You go fucking get it, dude. I'm feeling sick now. Go get me those herbs, bro. One of them makes it back. He recounts a tale of a giant fish that they had to kill. Maybe a megalodon or some sort of shark. Who knows? They're probably in smaller boats. Probably a Jaws scenario. We're going to need a bigger boat. The emperor finally, he's like, look, he's tried medicines. He's not getting better. He's drinking fluids, posting up, chilling, dude. Watching his terracotta soldiers get made. Finally, he's like, also the alchemist told a sick story about the fish he had to kill. He's like, yeah, dude, fucking the giant fish, dude. We're approaching the island for the sweetest herbs ever, dude. I didn't see any of the boys, just FYI, I didn't see them, dude. Probably this fish got them. And also, I bet I killed it with a repeating crossbow. I had like this dual wielding repeating crossbows. Like, have you ever seen that? Then he probably acted out. He's like, dude, I had to cross up this way, dude. It's pretty dark, dude, but I just freaking jumped off the bow of the boat, dude. Just absolutely unloaded in this fish, and then I ate the fish. I didn't save you any, sorry, dude. Anyway, dude. Thing is, freaking, I got there, and I found the herbs, but the fish got him, dude. Another fish got him on the way back, so sorry. But I know where it is, and I know a safe route, and if that fish happens to come by, I'll take it out. I know how to get them, as long as I have enough crossbows. The emperor's like, fine, I will go with you. Except he dies before he's able to even go on that journey. So he gets a fatal illness. Dead. Sorry, no herb life-preserving elixirs could be created. But as crazy as that sounds, but he does get put into a tomb with crazy juice flowing like a river, aka mercury, which will drive you crazy. And they say it's the most valuable mausoleum in the world because it's been written about, and no one's gone into there out of respect. I'm like, this guy killed thousands of boys. I think we can excavate his tomb. I think it's all right. Also, you're telling me no one has, which just makes me think it's a lie and it's fake. Or someone's been in there, they've taken all the stuff, it's not that crazy, and it's just cooler to talk about because they're like, yes, it's massive. And he was claimed to like trying to build this insane palace with like a huge foundation that led to his demise when he could have been like, I don't know, doing better emperor shit. I mean, it sounds like he did do quite a bit with infrastructure, but just overseeing Li Si and trying not to chase these elixirs of eternal life, and having like peasant labor build him a huge palace. But no one's ever discovered evidence for that palace where they say it is. So they're like, oh, that probably didn't happen. He's probably just putting all his efforts into the Terracotta army, because we do have evidence of that. In any case, he dies, and his tomb is supposed to have the most wealth in the world, including man-made stream beds contoured to resemble the Yellow and Yangtze River. That's what I was talking about. Flowing with shimmering quote-unquote quicksilver, aka mercury. So, pretty badass, and it's located not too far from terracotta soldiers. But I'm like, dude, just go dig that shit up. Just go dig that shit up. Also, they say it could be a myth for people that dislike the emperor, saying that he sent these boys to go find eternal medicines. He could have just been like elixirs or whatever. He could have just been sending people to go get regular medicine, not on like some crazy island. Like it might not have been alchemists and elixir. He definitely did send boys to go get stuff for him, or at least young men maybe who didn't return. Honestly, you probably got out of the capital. You're pretty young. You got a horse. Fucking deuces, dude. I'm bouncing. If you're pretty capable, go farm somewhere else. Meet a friggin' smoke show young wife, dude, and you're just friggin' chilling, dude. You know what I'm saying? Go live a dank life, dude. But if you find the sick elixir, maybe the emperor will take care of you. I don't know. In any case, what we do know is he sent people out looking for medicine. And it's sick that they had medicine. Should have packed some of that for him in the afterlife, dude. He did have tons of sick stuff, dude. You know, leather brittles, silk, linen, jade, bone. We went over all the weapons, but all the elements, all of the materials of the era are in that terracotta burial chamber, vaults, if you will. They're vaults now. So super badass, a great glimpse into the past. It's always beautiful. You know, the tragedy of Pompeii, of course, it just is a snapshot of what Rome looked like. This is so cool because it is in a purposeful and artistic snapshot of what it would have looked like back then. And it's awesome. The detail, people look like they're shorter. They're a little shorter than we are now. They stand barely over 5 feet.
I like that you can kind of pretend they're real.
Yeah, and you can pretend they're real. You could go up and dap one up if they let you touch it. That's sick. You know, you're a pervert. You could stare at one of, you know, the ladies of his harem. Just stare. What are you looking at? Oh, the detail, dude. All right, dude. Let's just keep moving. Come on, bro. So, pretty sick, dude. Terracotta Army. You know, it's food for thought. Take into your weekend or whatever, or week. Who would you want to bring with you? And just this idea of FOMO. That's what I thought about this too. Just had a nightmare that maybe it's because all my buddies are having kids. I might just try to have a kid to fit in. Procreate, just to be like, let's hang out. We both have these things. Good or bad move, Aaron, as a father. Have a kid just to continue the hang.
Nah, just hang.
Just hang. Just make sure I get invited, dude. Just send gifts to everyone.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, dude. Freaking stoked. Stay stoked. Glad to get an ep up. I know it had been a minute. Fired up to be back in the freaking booth with Aaron. We'll have another one coming out before the holiday season, but purchase your gifts, you know. And yeah, dude. Terracotta, dude. Legit, dude. Stay stoked. Lit.